What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Sean Strickland wants harsh repercussions for James Krause. Sean Strickland is not one to mince words. Throughout the course of his career, the outspoken North Carolina native has made headlines time and time again for his controversial comments and baffling interview responses. This week, Strickland delivered another rant during an interview with MMA Junkie, where he gave a scathing response to the recent James Krause betting scandal.
I tell you, I don't know what the happened to Krause. I don't even know Krause. But if there is any fight throwing or any bull Krause, the guy should be never allowed to be in the UFC in the Chicago Sounds gym. Now, if it's all bull and it's just some guys being assholes, then, move on, let the guy have a life.
Currently, Krause is the subject of an investigation into controversial betting activity surrounding Darrick Minner's recent loss to Shailin Nurdanbeki. The day of the fight, the betting lines shifted abruptly, leading many to question why Nurdanbeki was becoming such an overwhelming favorite prior to the fight. When the fight began, it was quickly apparent that Minner wasn't going to win, as he went down with a knee injury just moments into the bout before being TKO'd. Currently, Krause has his corner license suspended while an investigation takes place into whether or not there was any illegal betting activity surrounding the fight. In addition, any fighters that continue to train under Krause will also be unable to compete. The decision could have a major impact on the upcoming Deiveson Figueiredo-Brendan Moreno tetralogy fight, given that Moreno has maintained that he plans to stick by his coach. Whether or not Krause is allowed to return to coaching, or if he fires back at Sean Strickland, only time will tell. Paulo Costa reportedly turned down 6-fight extension from the UFC. After Paulo Costa picked up a unanimous decision victory over Luke Rockhold this past summer in Salt Lake City, Utah, the former title challenger found himself in a unique position. He had proven that he was capable of making the middleweight non-title fight limit of 186 pounds after a strange situation last October, when he chose to stop cutting weight before his clash with Marvin Vettori. With the win over Rockhold under his belt and a successful return to middleweight behind him, Costa looked onward to the final fight of his contract. A showdown with former champion Robert Whittaker was expected for Perth. However, at the end of last month, Costa then said nothing had been finalized and he wanted a new contract before agreeing to the fight. Costa explained recently on Twitter that he had just one more fight before being free of his UFC contract, while revealing that he declined a 6-fight deal from the UFC. As he explained back in August after beating Luke Rockhold, he was looking forward to becoming a free agent and testing the waters in hopes of signing a big contract.
Yes, I'm looking for sure. I will not be I will not lie for you. I'd like to this was the last one of this contract, because I really believe, and it's not just to me, it's for everybody. I'm on the high level, fight for the best of this division, and my contract is it's old.
At the time, he went on to reveal that he wasn't happy with his current contract, something that sounds like has not been remedied given his recent tweets. What do you think the future holds for Costa? Will he eventually re-sign with the UFC, or will he sign with another promotion like Bellator? Give us your thoughts in the comments below. Darren Till gives prediction for potential Chimaev-Covington fight. A rumored showdown between Colby Covington and Khamzat Chimaev has continued to dominate headlines over the last few weeks as fans clamor for news about the fight being made official. After reports first surfaced about the potential fight, UFC President Dana White revealed that the promotion was looking to book the two streaking welterweight contenders for an upcoming card. Given the potential #1 contender spot on the line at 170 pounds, it seemed as though the fight would be booked sooner rather than later. Since then, however, there's been no word about the potential showdown, leaving many people to wonder just what the UFC brass has up its sleeve. During a recent interview, Chimaev's close friend and training partner, Darren Till, spoke about the highly anticipated showdown, saying,
I think if them two to fight, I think Khamzat would be he'd overpower him. I do think I believe his striking's better, and I think when it comes to the wrestling, I do think he'd be the powerful one. But obviously, it'd be over 5 rounds. He'd have to be fully prepared. The trash talk as well. His English is getting phenomenally better. Obviously, me and him speak on the daily.
Till also made sure to give Covington his props, pointing out that although most of the media coverage surrounding Chaos stems from his brash personality and online antics, he, without a doubt, trains incredibly hard behind closed doors. With the UFC just recently announcing a March pay-per-view at the O2 Arena in London, many have suspected that the UFC will look to schedule a fight as the co-main event behind the Leon Edwards vs. Kamaru Usman trilogy fight. Till, of course, is currently gearing up for his highly anticipated return to the octagon this weekend against Dricus du Plessis. The fight will be Till's first in over a year, and we'll see him look to snap a 2-fight skid. Things are bound to get wild in the octagon this weekend. UFC 282 is guaranteed to be a blast this Saturday with Paddy the Baddy facing Jared Gordon, Jan Blachowicz facing Magomed Ankalaev, and an appearance from our fan favorite, Robbie Lawler. To make it even more sweet, we've teamed up with DraftKings, the official sports betting partner of the UFC, to share an incredible deal with all of you. All new customers have to do is sign up using our promo code MMAZone. Bet $5 on either fighter to win before the fight starts, and you'll get an additional $150 in free bets if your bet wins. That's an additional $150 in free bets if your pre-fight wager of $5 or more on a fighter to win hits. Want even more action? Combine multiple bets together, like how long the fight will last, which fighter will win, and more in one parlay to give yourself a shot at even bigger winnings. For those of you in a state where mobile sports betting isn't available yet, DraftKings Daily Fantasy is giving all MMA fans a chance to cash out this weekend. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers who use our promo code MMAZone and bet $5 on any UFC 282 fighter to win will get $150 in free bets if your bet wins. That's promo code MMAZone, only at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC. Before we continue, make sure you give that like button some love, and be sure to subscribe to the MMA Zone for all of the latest news. Dustin Poirier undergoes successful foot surgery for brutal staph infection. Fan favorite lightweight Dustin the Diamond Poirier is back in the hospital while battling a pretty brutal staph infection. The former interim lightweight champion has been pretty public about the ongoing battle, posting updates on Twitter as much as he can. After catching staph, Poirier found himself unable to walk, resulting in a visit to the hospital that turned into a several-day stay for cellulitis. During his stay, Poirier notably engaged in a back and forth with Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz prior to learning that he was responding to antibiotics and would be discharged. Despite the good news, after being discharged and stopping to see his daughters play, Poirier then wound up back in the hospital shortly after when an MRI revealed that there was an abscess in his foot that needed to be drained. The readmitted Poirier was then booked for surgery. Following the procedure, his wife took to social media to give an update on the situation, where she revealed that things went well for her husband. The story post was followed up by a post from Poirier himself, which he captioned, "About to bounce back. Nobody's safe. Everyone talking and kicking when I'm down, that's coward movements. I want all the smoke. El Diamante." When Poirier is able to make his return to the octagon, it'll be interesting to see the landscape of the division. Fresh off a win over Michael Chandler, Poirier finds himself just shy of a title shot. With the potential #1 contender bout on the horizon for him, he'll be tasked with deciding whether he'd like to chase UFC gold or seek out a big money fight. So far, no response yet from Conor McGregor or Nate Diaz in regard to Poirier's post-surgery comments. McGregor, of course, is currently gearing up to return from surgery, while Diaz has yet to make his first official move as a free agent. Do you want to see Poirier fight either man? Or should he look towards a run at the title once more? Give us your thoughts in the comment section below. Dana White sees light at the end of the tunnel. Over the course of the last few years, the subject of UFC President Dana White's retirement has continued to surface. With White now 53 years old, many have begun to imagine what the UFC will look like after his eventual retirement. It's something that has been a hot topic ever since White revealed that a mortality expert gave him just over 10 years to live if he didn't change his habits several months ago. Leading up to UFC 282 this week, White revealed to ESPN's Brett Okamoto that although he is not considering retirement anytime soon, he reportedly, quote, sees the light at the end of the tunnel in regards to his future with the company. Paddy Pimblett fires back at Ariel Helwani after hour-long response. When Ariel Helwani found himself on the receiving end of some scathing remarks from streaking lightweight contender Paddy Pimblett this week, he made sure to pull receipts. During an hour-long segment on the MMA Hour, Helwani read the discussion that took place between he and Pimblett on Instagram. before then reading the text exchange that occurred between he and Pimblett's manager. Helwani explained that Paddy the Baddy reached out to him for an interview before then directing him to his manager, who asked Helwani to get BT Sport to assemble a budget to pay Pimblett for an interview. That didn't sit too well with Helwani, who revealed that he has never paid anyone for an interview, nor does he have any plans to pay someone for an interview anytime soon. Pimblett fired back in an interview with CBS shortly after to clarify his comments on the situation, explaining,
Ariel wanted me to not do a paid gig, to do something for free with him. And somehow people are defending him. Simple, that's it, simple as. I don't need to talk about it anymore because that's just a fact. He's come out with his false narrative and said it didn't bother him, but has done an hour and 15-minute video about it. So, you know, we know it's bothered him. He's had to lie and make himself look good.
According to Paddy the Baddy, he and his manager will address the situation with Helwani more after his upcoming fight with Jared Gordon at UFC 282 this weekend. Eager to extend his unbeaten streak inside the octagon, Pimblett will set his sights on a big win against an incredibly game opponent. How do you see the fight playing out? Give us your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you so much for joining us today. What do you make of what's going on in the fight world? Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all the latest news from the MMA Zone. See you next time.